Guys, you better get ready because Marvel is jumping all in on the woke bandwagon, and it's just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. There used to be a point where Marvel, when they would get ready to put out a movie or something, they talk about, the cool things in the movie that the fans will like. The things that we will find exciting, fun, interesting, awesome, all of that type of stuff. They talk about the story, the characters, but we're seeing that less and less and less and less when it comes to the people working on Marvel movies. And honestly, Kevin Feige, he's been a secret SJW for a while now. There is a lot of proof of this that has been coming out over the past year or so with that he's actually been kind of restricted from doing a lot of this type of woke nonsense, but he is starting to have the reins loosened on him more and more, and he's starting to put more of this type of nonsense into the MCU, and I'm already getting pretty annoyed and tired of it. So before we get into these comments from Taika Waititi right here, subscribe to the channel here. I would greatly appreciate that, and also share this video if you don't mind as well. Go check out some of our other videos as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So director Taika Waititi wants Valkyrie to be explicitly queer in next Thor movie, because that is what the fans want to know about, right? General Americans, just living their lives, working day jobs, trying to provide for their families, all that type of stuff. What we really want to know about the next Thor movie is not, what kind of direction they're going to go with the Thor character, what kind of cool stuff's going to be in the movie, what kind of other characters we may see pop up from the comics, all of that type of stuff. No. We don't want to know about that. We don't want to know about that. What we want to know about is Valkyrie going to be queer? No, not just queer. Explicitly queer. Now, Taika Waititi, I'm a pretty big fan of Taika Waititi. I've enjoyed some of his movies. Jojo Rabbit was a pretty great movie, actually. I really liked that movie a lot. I wasn't a big fan of Thor Ragnarok just because it was a little too, I don't know, it's just a little bit too goofy for me. I would have liked to seen a little bit more of a serious take on the Ragnarok story, but that is what it is. I appreciate him because he is a very ballsy director, and he really does take a lot of risks with the films that he makes, so I appreciate that, And for the most part, for most people in Hollywood, he seems to be a fairly likable person. But, some of the things that he says here are a little bit annoying. So the Marvel character of Valkyrie, as played by Tessa Thompson in Thor Ragnarok, has always allegedly been queer. Director Taika Waititi wants her to be exclusively queer in the next Thor installment. Speaking with Variety, Waititi, who recently won the Best Adapted Screenplay Oscar for his work on Jojo Rabbit, which is pretty deserving. I would have liked to have seen it go to Joker, but Jojo was also a good movie, so he said he would have Valkyrie be openly queer if he were the one making the final decision, as long as the actors agreed. I think so, Waititi said. The IP is not mine, but with the actors, I feel whatever makes them comfortable. Whether they feel like there's a natural choice or a natural way for that character to go, then I'm pretty supportive. If Tessa wanted to do that, then I'm in. So, and, in some way, I kind of agree with him here. If it is a natural way for the character to go, then that's fine, I don't care. But most of the time, this isn't done naturally. It's done in a very forced way, in a very cringy way, because, of course, it's all about the identity politics, and Hollywood is absolutely obsessed with identity politics. So, they really get themselves off by just cramming this type of nonsense more and more into movies. So, and honestly, the mistake that he is making here is Tessa Thompson is a raging wokester. She is absolutely out of her mind's bonkers when it comes to being woke. I like Tessa Thompson. I like a lot of her movies that she's done, but that is the fact of who Tessa Thompson is. Sorry about that. I had a technical issue, but as I was saying, nothing is more explicitly clear about the fact that Tessa is a very woke person than some of the stuff that she said, especially at the recent San Diego Comic-Con in 2019, but this is some of the stuff that she said here. So, remember when she was announced that she was going to be, the new king of Asgard at San Diego Comic-Con, and the very first thing that came out of her mouth when she said that was Thompson also said that Valkyrie should find a queen to join her as the new ruler of Asgard. As new king of Asgard, she needs to find her queen. That will be the first order of business. That was literally the very first thing that came out of her mouth at San Diego Comic-Con when it came to her returning as Valkyrie for the next Thor movie. Which just goes to show that all that Tessa Thompson cares about is the virtue signaling nonsense like most people in Hollywood do. All she cares about is continuing to get more and more woke. And we're going to see this quite a bit in the next movie, I think. I think there's kind of a little bit of butting heads here. I really do think that Taika Waititi wants to do stuff that will actually benefit the story and fit with the story, which is why a lot of her, her queer stuff, whatever that was in Thor Ragnarok was cut because Taika felt it was forced. So it says right here, actress Tessa Thompson has already expressed on several occasions her desire to see her character's sexuality explored further in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In fact, Thor Ragnarok even had a deleted scene in which a female lover leaves Valkyrie's bedroom, hinting at her bisexuality. Taika Waititi wanted to keep the scene initially, but was forced to cut it. He kept it in the film as long as he could. Eventually, the bit had to be cut because it distracted from the scene's vital exposition, Thompson explained to Rolling Stone. So, I don't know if that was necessarily Taika Waititi cutting that because it felt like it wasn't really benefiting the story, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this. So, with that being said, Marvel's just going to continue to get more and more woke. We already know this. We are already seeing the signs of this. The Eternals is coming out at the end of this year, and that movie apparently is going to be it's going to be pushing the woke nonsense quite a bit in that movie. So, with that being said, what do you think about Taika Waititi's comments here when it comes to Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie character being super duper duper queer in Thor Love and Thunder, which is also a very horrible title, by the way, as well. I don't know. I don't know. I think Marvel is going to really start slipping here. So, with that being said, also go check out my personal channel as well, Josiah Rises. I would greatly appreciate that, and subscribe over there. With that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later.